In a galaxy far, far away, a mysterious weapon called the lightsaber is wielded with the power to cut nearly anything in its path. So what if lightsabers were real? Taking a look at the anatomy of a lightsaber, the design is pretty ambiguous. The handle contains a couple real and fictional components such as a power conductor, a crystal plasma source, a few energy modulators, and a magnetic stabilizer. Because of the time it would take me to describe how all of these components could be combined together to create an actual lightsaber, the lightsaber would obviously already exist. So instead, let's take a look at the lightsaber from the movies and see what kind of properties it would need to be able to do the things that it does in the movies. In lore, the lightsaber actually arcs out of the handle and then actually comes back in. But is this even possible? Maybe, but without the Force on your side, it could be incredibly dangerous. Any interactions with other lightsabers would cause interferences, though this interference wouldn't be the kind seen in the movies. The blades would pass right through each other, with plasma beams arcing uncontrollably. So let's get one thing out of the way. Arcing lightsabers probably wouldn't work, and controlling the length would be nearly impossible. So let's fix that. Luckily, Star Wars leaves a lot to the imagination. So plasma is a gaseous state of matter with an incredibly high amount of energy. This increase in energy causes the gas to separate into positively charged ions and negatively charged free-flowing electrons. But this also means that plasma is a magnetically charged gas that can be shaped by magnetic fields. The more these particles move, the higher the temperature. Therefore, plasma is generally incredibly hot. Because the lightsabers in the movies are essentially plasma cutters, they'd have similar characteristics as the small-scale manufacturing plasma cutters, but instead of 2cm blades, it would be a 1-meter long blade. Ignoring the fact that the amount of radiant heat this would generate could ignite objects around you and maybe even your own clothing, if there was a way to control it, this may actually be pretty deadly. That's why plasma particles would be ejected out of the handle through nozzles at supersonic speeds. These particles basically act as molecular chainsaws. As the atomic particles impact the particles of iron rods or flesh, they transfer their kinetic energy into the atoms, knocking them out of line. Due to temperature and speed drop-off, the blade would actually need to be hotter and be traveling faster. That way, towards the end of the blade, it could be as deadly as it is towards the beginning of the blade. This is where the magnetic field comes into play. It could limit the blade from having influence beyond 1 meter, but still allow it to be deadly at the desired length. For the blade design, get rid of the arcing blade. It would be uncontrollable, it would be dangerous. We don't even want to go there. A telescoping rod would be a much better alternative. A cap can be added at the end too, acting as a protective guard when the unit is disengaged and a limiter when it is engaged. When the rod is at full length, a magnetic field could be generated traveling up through the rod and out around the outside of the plasma, ending its journey back at the magnetic stabilizer. With the lightsaber having to cut through iron rods, the plasma would need to be excessively hot and projected at very high speeds. For this reason, traditional materials for the telescoping rod simply won't work. Ceramic is a great place to start due to its crystalline structure. Ceramics have extremely high melting points, but this temperature tolerance comes at a cost. It's extremely brittle. According to new research and studies, a new material made of hafnium, nitrogen, and carbon could have a melting point of about 4,000 degrees Celsius. There's no indication that this material would be able to transfer the magnetic field to contain the plasma, but we already know that ceramics can't either. Iron has a melting point of about 1,540 degrees Celsius, which is about a third the temperature of the surface of the sun. Assuming the telescoping rod is 1 meter long and 3 centimeters in diameter, with an additional 5 centimeter diameter plasma blade around that, it would take about 68 megawatts to cut through the iron bar with a regular sword swing. That's enough power to cut through most things, but also about 10,000 homes for 12 hours, and that's only to generate the plasma. With a power generator on board to supply it with enough juice to run approximately all day, you would have to have some serious power generation technology on board. There have been breakthroughs with carbon nanotubes exploiting its naturally high conductivity values, but super dense batteries that can power a lightsaber are still exclusively in the galaxy far, far away. Although it seems like this technology is very far-fetched and we'll never see it, the same has been said about cell phones, airplanes, trains. Really anything is possible. I have no doubt that in the future, if the technology is there to make a lightsaber, there will be someone out there that will make a lightsaber. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe, make sure you set notifications to on. Anyways, guys, leave your comments down below. If you can have any lightsaber, what color would it be? Anyways, guys, thanks for watching.